This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday and hump day. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Evan Thomason, and I realize I haven't given you anything else to look at. There we go. Window World Sky Camera here in Texarkana. This is what I like to call a lack of a live look. It's completely fogged up and cloudy outside of the Arcletex. Well, if you notice, we have another voice here. We got meteorologist C.J. Cartledge. They can't see you yet, C.J.
Oh.
I know you're waving. And you're going to act like you're already on there. Look, I spared you the time from continuing to wave, okay? Don't worry. I'm fixing up our double box, actually, as we speak with these foggy conditions around the Arcletex. I also realized I always forget every single time. I got to turn my volume up. There we go. Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot better. Again, sorry for those people who just turned up the volume, but yeah, we're still getting everything together today. We're a little busy, honestly. CJ's got kind of an unusual job here today. We'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, live look at us. Very foggy Arcletex, especially right around Texarkana. This is going to continue into the lunchtime hour. I've now taken us on camera, CJ, so you can now wave and say hi. There we go. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. I'm pretty pumped and excited to talk about the weather once again. Since I've been on yesterday, back to talking about the weather today.
Yeah. We're back with CJ. We mixed everything around because CJ, you didn't work yesterday. You were off. I can go ahead and say that. But you're back today. Not wearing a suit and tie though. You're bringing the reporter cap today. Go ahead and tell us what you're doing here later this afternoon.
Well, KSLA food drive is today, and I'm going out to Southern University at Shreveport, or also known as SUSLA, around the Arcletex to do live shots and tell you guys to come out and donate any non-perishable items and anything to support the Northwest Louisiana Food Bank. Sponsored by KSLA. We're doing this food drive close to the holiday season. As you may know, Thanksgiving's coming up, and so is Christmas. So I'm just supporting a good cause today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. I also helped preview that. We have I did a Facebook stream earlier on KSLA News 12 when we first opened this up earlier this morning. You can look at that for details. There's so many details on our website as well, ksla.com. Really good cause. All you need to do is grab yourself just one canned good at the very least. Also, there's several different locations to go to. I mean, Susla is one of them where CJ's going to, but you can also go to our station,
right, literally
right here at our doorstep and donate. You can also go to any Whataburger location. Dudley DeBosier, I think, is another one in Shreveport. And I'm forgetting one. The Word of God Ministries, I believe. Yes. So several different locations to try out. Excuse me. All you need to donate is one. The more the merrier, but yeah, any non-perishable items, that's what we're aiming for. That goes until 7 p.m. tonight. And again, it's only today, but you at least have until 7 p.m. today to get out there. So still plenty of time as of this recording, about 8 hours or so left. Yeah, it's interesting. Just one more question before we move on from this topic. You're being a reporter today, CJ, though, exclusively. No weather stuff. How you feeling about that?
Hey, I might spill some weather game. I'll talk to you guys during my live shot, talk to you about the conditions all around. But, yeah, it's mostly going to be reporter CJ for today. Just helping out the reporters. Somebody taking off for today, so I'm stepping in their place. So, yeah, it should be fun. And, come out and donate. Make sure to come out to one of the spots that Evan has mentioned and come out and donate.
Yep. Again, goes until 7 p.m. tonight. Really cool opportunity. Anyways, let's get into the weather. Because very intriguing weather. I best described it this morning as my favorite word was what Steven used to describe it this morning. Soupy.
Soupy, yeah.
Soupy. Moist. I use so many words because it's very moist without the rain. Honestly, it's been cloudy, it's been foggy, it's been muggy, there's been tons of mist. There's been even just light rain droplets that our radar hasn't even picked up on.
Yeah. And, another word I would use is saturated for our atmosphere right now. Not saturated much on the ground for most of the region, but it is pretty saturated outside. And it could be saturated through this afternoon for some spots. around the Arklatex, not for most of us though.
Yep, current conditions sitting around the 60s, foggy skies in some patchy areas around the Arklatex, such as center right now. And if you're not facing foggy conditions, it's still cloudy. And this leads till around lunchtime before I think we'll get some more sunshine in store coming this afternoon. That's kind of hinted at by this future track here in for today. We just got a little bit of a cloud cover hanging around here for the early afternoon hours before finally drying things up for the nighttime hours. You know, I just realized before we go on, I realized that we didn't go over the rundown here for this episode, but
It's okay.
it's fine. It's fine. We do things free flow. I was too excited to go on about the weather and go on about the holiday food drive. Another shout out to that. Anyways, back to the forecast here. Going into your Thursday, got nice sunshine continuing on, and also into Friday as well here for the most part. Pretty dry conditions all the way through the weekend, I believe, right, Caesar?
Yeah, pretty much through the weekend. We're going to be getting some high pressure moving back in across most of the Midwestern and Eastern United States is what I saw from some of the models in there just before walking onto the show. And that's going to bring us nice and cool conditions, actually. We're actually going to be experiencing another cool down potentially for today. Correct, Evan? And that's going to be...
Wait. Cool down for today?
A slight cool down or...
It mainly happens tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Closer.
Yep.
A little bit closer than what I said. But, yeah, we're expecting a little bit of some cooler conditions. Temperatures closer to the average, but hanging around that average as we move into the weekend, right, Evan?
So, yeah, we're going over that right now. Future track temperatures. Upper 70s and still even reaching 80 degrees potentially for today. Because that actual cold part, the cold temperatures with the cold front, don't come until tonight. And you're especially going to start feeling that for tomorrow morning. Instead of waking up to the upper 50s and even lower 60s, what we hanged around with here for the early morning hours of today, tomorrow early morning, 40s.
Wow.
Brr. And it continues to settle in. Again, highs tomorrow, only 70 degrees. And the low temperatures on Friday morning. I know we've been hyping up next week's cold front, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But Friday morning, lows down into the lower 40s. So, yeah, sweater weather is back. Here, going to need some sleeves here definitely to wrap up the work week. And then heading into the weekend, 73 on Saturday and 76 on Sunday. Looks like it'll be mostly dry, so any weekend plans look pretty good. Pretty optimal, honestly. Just, again, the 20% rain chance, and that leads us to our next cold front, which mainly hits us at the start of next work week. I think your weekend should be fine. So, yeah, as for your temperature trend, there that first cold front goes on by, cools us off just a little bit. But then the eyes on the prize here for, I guess, the creme de la creme of the cold air is going to come in next week with our much more powerful cold front that sets up to our west on Monday afternoon. We see some shades of purple out to our west, bringing much cooler than average temperatures from the west coast all the way over to the Arklatex. And I don't know if you saw this morning, we have just a whole change in the weather pattern here for next week. Big cold blast is affecting the Arklatex for our coldest air so far this season. Are you ready, CJ?
I am ready. I absolutely am ready. I'm waiting for that sweatshirt weather to arrive. It's arrived a couple times this season, but not too many times. And not too many times for my liking, not too many times maybe for some of you guys' liking. But, yes, it's on the way for us by next week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that's, I guess, major story number one, especially major story for here locally in the Arklatex moving forward for next week. But the other main story is tropics in November. I mentioned this on the morning show. What am I talking? I'm talking cold temperatures down in the 40s in a matter of 2 days, and yet I'm still talking about tropics on the other hand. What is going on? What is happening with this setup? It is wacky. So I have an area of interest that has a 90% chance of forming in the western edge of the Caribbean Sea, which means it's most likely going to form within the next 2 days. Tracks, I know I don't have any yet there because they haven't really developed yet the spaghetti models entirely yet on our spaghetti model map, but is expected to go towards
the Gulf of Mexico and then possibly into heading towards Florida.
Yes.
But whether it will hit Florida or not is uncertain as of right now. And with the models that I saw before coming onto the show, it's mostly going to be pushed off to the east because of our cold front that will be moving through next week. So that is definitely good for us because the cold front will help push it away from us, but it could make landfall somewhere else, which is, once again, uncertain as of right now.
But it could be Florida again.
It could be Florida again, sadly.
It might be the same exact area where Milton hit.
Mm.
And that's just saying something, all right? So.
Yeah.
And in the middle of November, well, by the time this even gets into Florida, it's going to be late November.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this will be almost Thanksgiving time. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah.
Hurricane season runs until November 30th, so
Yep.
it's not over till it's over.
One last note, before it even goes into the Gulf, there's even a possibility, and I think it's even becoming more of a likelihood that it actually might make landfall briefly on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. So that'll be intriguing, and that might even be hurricane status by then because of how much it meanders in the Caribbean, and the Caribbean is the fuel for this system. The Gulf, just so you know, is pretty much done. The Gulf is done. The Gulf is cold. It's too cold to produce anything tropical. It's the Caribbean that's fueling everything. Moving on forward. So, yeah.
The Caribbean right there, that's the soup right there.
Yes.
That's soupy down there.
That is the real
It's very warm over there in those Caribbean waters currently.
All right, 7-day forecast now here. Again, for today, 81 degrees still potentially for Shreveport. My goodness. That's because we'll probably get a little more sunshine out for this weekend. 72 for Thursday and Friday. Then we slightly warm up the temperatures here by the mid-70s here for Sunday. If you notice, next 5 days overall, even including that 20% rain chance on Sunday, I think it's just going to be mainly dry across the Architects all the way through Sunday. So, yeah, enjoy the next 5 days that are rain-free until we do have our next little scattered chance of rain and scattered and widespread rain back here in the Architects on Monday. And I know what you're thinking, well, where's the cold air? Because on Tuesday, we still have highs around 74 degrees. But it appears that the coldest air of the season is going to kind of be delayed behind the original push of rain behind the system. So I'm actually going to pull up the 12-day forecast here recently because this has been the main thing I've been hyping up, honestly, most of the First Alert Weather Breakdown podcast this week, it seems like. So, yeah, let's go to the days 8 through 12 real quick. Well, you'll notice the highs quickly dropping into the lower 60s, it looks like, for Wednesday. I got 50s for highs next Thursday and Friday. Granted, it looks like it dries out for the end of next week and even heading into the following weekend, too. So the only rain chance we have in the whole 12-day forecast is coming for next Monday. So that's a good stretch of dry weather here for the next 12 days, again, except for Monday. But lows, we haven't even talked about low temperatures. I mean, people just think it's in the 50s the whole day. No, we're starting with probably temperatures getting below freezing for the first time. First freeze.
First freeze?
Most likely, I'm calling it.
Wow.
End of next week.
End of next week?
End of next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
So,
have to watch that. We'll have to watch that very, very closely. And 50s is what you said before, right? Is that even our low? Was that even our low today?
our low today in Shreveport, I don't even think reached below 60. I did see upper 50s, and I think I saw 50 degrees down over in Mount Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of Architects, I think, hanged around the upper 50s.
Wow. See?
That's not even a high temperature, it looks like, end of next week.
That just goes to show you how cold it's going to get and how more like fall it will feel in the Architects by mid to late next week.
Yep. Man, wild. I know we're hyping that up in some of our social media posts around here, so.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready for it. It comes. It's looking more and more likely every day. The end of next week, even though it's, I don't know, quite strange to have such certainty for something that happens beyond the 7-day forecast. But yeah, still, it looks more and more certain. It's the same thing in the tropics. It looks more and more certain that that's going to form as well. So, wild.
Yeah. Very wild.
40s, hurricane. Still can't get over it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this with maybe look at CJ's TikTok. We'll see you after this. All right, welcome on back. We're coming back. There we are. Hi. KSLA News 12, first alert with a breakdown. Thanks again for joining me, CJ. First of all, I forgot the rundown. This podcast is a little out of sorts, to be honest.
It's okay.
When I was writing down the little, the little tidbit I usually put, I'll go ahead and show everybody our little rundown here that we usually have every single time. It just felt weird to say TikTok Wednesday. No offense. I know you were off yesterday, but it's TikTok Wednesday. It just doesn't hit. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not the same. I don't know.
We call it. Nah, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say TikTok Tuesday the next day, but that's corny. But anyway,
TikTok Tuesday overtime.
Overtime. That's not bad.
We do use the weird overtime here for our sports show. So
That's not bad. Chris, I'm gonna have to ask Chris about that. We want to do the same thing as him, but hey, it's not bad.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna be looking at a TikTok today. The TikTok is about our work week preview. I didn't talk much about the cold front that we're expecting next week, but I did talk about what the conditions we can expect to start this week and to end this week, which it will be pretty much similar. Not similar to how we will see for today, since it's mostly cloudy and we've seen mostly sunny conditions to start the week. But to start the week and end the week, we look to be under mostly sunny conditions and warmer conditions, actually. And through the start of this work week, we actually had forecasted highs in the 70s, but we've hit 80s through Monday, Tuesday, and potentially on our Wednesday, which is today. So that is definitely surprising. Our forecasted high has been beat by a lot. I've actually been bumping up the highs on Monday before I was off yesterday, and I believe we already hit 80 yesterday too with forecasted highs by the National Weather Service in the 70s. So that's definitely something. We're expecting still warmer than average temperatures through the start of this week and to end the week potentially.
That's still wild to me, honestly. We broke our all-time November temperature back on, what was it, November 3rd? All-time November temperature back on November 3rd. Yeah. It was 89 degrees. 89.
Almost at the 90s.
We had our coolest, fall-like conditions coming in October. In the middle of October, they've been dormant almost ever since.
Yeah.
Bonkers. But it looks like our big cool-down's finally coming here for next week. It's
Yeah.
getting slowly more and more into view.
Right. Hopefully the forecast verifies.
Now, here's a heads up into this TikTok. Last week, we played this, and then we realized there was no audio to it. We realized that during the last commercial break that we didn't test out the audio and haven't changed anything around. So don't be surprised, first of all, A, if this doesn't have any audio, and B, if we immediately just come on back and you talk about your
that's
prediction.
Because there's no subtitles either, like how it was last time. So
did you put subtitles on this?
I actually did not.
Oh.
So if we come right back, you'll know why.
All right. I'm going to try to play it. Keyword is try. The video will play. It's just a matter of the audio plays or not. We'll see. All right. Yeah, we're coming back, CJ. But hey, I'm in the middle of your TikTok right now, and it says your forecasted highs for this past weekend right around 80 degrees. So we've been, as you said, we've kind of stayed on track with those temperatures all work week long. I'm kind of just playing your video on the background now. Rain chances. Oh, I guess you made this on Monday.
I made this on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that 20% rain chance in for Wednesday, and then rain chances ramping up early next week. Look at that.
How much has it changed since then, actually?
It's pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much the same?
Yeah. Rain chances dropped a little bit for the weekend. I will say that.
That's good.
Because most of it's supposed to come early next week. So, yeah.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, pretty much. I was just talking about the rain chances, how much rain we'll be expecting. Has that gone up a little bit? I actually haven't checked that before the show. The rainfall potential.
I think it's about the same. Oh, I'm seeing that now. I didn't even use that graphic too much this morning, honestly, because I focused too much on the a little too much on the whatchamacallit. I can't word.
Cold front?
Yes, the cold front and the actual cold temperatures themselves.
Yeah.
'Cause it's more.
That's the
More
biggest story. So
Yeah, it's true. Definitely want to talk about the rainfall itself as well, but a little closer to the date. Yeah, definitely for that. And I see the last thing you brought up was the tropics on this. One quick note about this, real quick, is we. At the time you made it, it was only a 50% chance of forming, and this was back on Monday.
yeah.
Sunday, it only had like a 20% chance, and today, in just a matter of 2 days, it's up to 90.
Yep. It just kept on climbing. Those
Wow.
sea surface temperatures are still well into the 80s. Last time I checked, I believe on Sunday was still around 87, and that's what the Gulf of Mexico was looking like around September, around the peak time of this year's hurricane season. We had 5 storms out there in the Atlantic, or at least 3 storms current, and then 2 potential storms. So, yeah, it's still pretty warm out there in those Caribbean waters. So we could definitely see a storm move into the Gulf and dissipate as it pushes east due to the cold front potentially.
Yeah, that's wild. Also, the last thing I want to bring up is if people are trying to compare this to Raphael, which just went into the Gulf and kind of essentially died, this is not going to be a Raphael situation. The reason why is because Raphael went fully into the Gulf of Mexico, mainly into the western side. And as I said, the Gulf of Mexico cannot even support tropical systems at all. It's not just because of the cooler waters, because it's been too close to the cold fronts that have come on by through the Arctic. Cold fronts essentially kill off tropical systems. Tropical systems need I always say this, a calm environment around them so that they can function and spin on their own, to their own accord, which is exactly what they want to do.
And
go ahead.
Well, the key word for that is also wind shear. That's the winds changing with the height, and that cold front provides a lot of wind shear to push it off and or mess up its development.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah. And the key to this system is what is likely to become Sarah. Sarah's the next name. It only goes up the eastern edge of the Gulf. It's not even going to affect it too much at all. It's going to be steered by the very tail end of a cold front, it looks like. But the point is it's a tail end. So it's only going to look to probably weaken it a little bit, but not by too much. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, we're going to take one last break. We're going to recap this episode, and then CJ's got to go out to Susla afterward. We'll talk about that after this. See you after this. All right, welcome back. KSLA News 12, first alert weather breakdown. We're wrapping this up. We like to kind of wrap this up by 11 a.m. Thanks again for CJ for joining me. Always intrigued to see you in kind of a different outfit. Not gonna lie either.
Yeah, it's just something different for today.
It's different flow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun though. Make sure you guys come out to any of the locations said before. We have Susla, we have a Whataburger, we have Word of God Ministries, and we have a Deadly Debosure around the Arc or around the Shreveport and Bossier area. You can drop off non-perishable items or any foods and goods that you may want to donate to people who are then the less fortunate. This is definitely for a good cause. It's for the Northwest Louisiana Food Bank. That's what I said before. So make sure you guys come out and donate. It's definitely going to be fun. It's going to be a fun day for us and hopefully for you guys as well.
Again, that's for our KSLA News 12 Holiday Food Drive. And it is only for today, but you still have plenty of time today. You have until 7 p.m. tonight in 8 hours. You have 8 hours to do so. You can also drop them off. One last location is here, literally at this studio, which is 1812 Fairfield Avenue. We don't live in a cavern somewhere else where you can't access our studio. You can just drive by the front of our news station, and there's a tent set up. Shreveport Police is actually helping us out with that, and they're helping us collect items. So, yeah, just anything and everything. Well, I wouldn't say anything helps. Again, non-perishable food items, but anything helps when it comes to that. All right, thank you guys for watching. For tomorrow's episode, we're going to be going over a sports forecast here for tomorrow. Get you ramped up here for the weekend. And actually, last thing before we go, I will actually be off on Friday. CJ, you're filling in on Friday. You're the man. Look at him go. Anyways, we're gonna have a Met Chat recording for Friday. I will go ahead and spoil that right now, and CJ gets to run that, so that'll be pretty cool. Yeah. All right. You have a good rest of your day. Join us if you have a topic, real quick. If you have a topic you want us to talk about on here on First Alert Weather Breakdown, you can email us, weatherbreakdown@ksla.com. You can also message us on Facebook as well. Any of us, me, CJ, Matt, Austin, or I. Did I say me and I? I think I said me and I in the same phrase.
It's okay. They get the gist.
It stresses the well, I'm not more important than others, but we're a team. We're all a team together. Anyway, you can message any of the four of us on the KSLA News 12 First Alert Weather Team on Facebook, and we will make sure to maybe get that topic set in stone. We'll talk about it. We love to talk about anything weather. Anyways, anything. Is that it? Oh, watch our episodes again every weekday at 10:30. One last thing I want to go over. I feel like I've said last thing too many times. If you can't make this episode every single weekday, it airs every single weekday at 10:30 on the stream. If you can't make every single one and you still want to watch some of them, you can go onto our app. There's a tab, KSLA News 12 First Alert Weather Breakdown. You can just watch them at any point. So you can watch them the afternoon or the evening after, so to speak, to still get your kind of latest kind of breakdown forecast, so to speak, and get our latest weather content. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, CJ. Anyways, thanks for joining me again, meteorologist CJ Cartledge. I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. I'll be on for one more day on Thursday until CJ is again on Friday. Be there at 10:30 tomorrow. Be square and be weather aware. I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace out.